Call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor.
Here.
Erie.
Here.
McMullen.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
Mayor Pete.
Here. Are there any changes to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to public comment. Anyone with comment for council is welcome to come forward. State your name, and then you have 3 minutes.
I'll let you know in 30 seconds left, right? Okay, no problem. My name is Janice Green. I live at 107 East Bridge. First of all, I want to compliment you for all you do for our town, and I love this town of Streator, and that's why I'm here, because I have some concerns I want to address. My husband really thought it was a waste of time for me to come. I'm hoping it's not. We live, we have owned the empty lot next to 208 South Park. We're not allowed to build a garage on that lot because of the city ordinance that we're not allowed just a garage on the lot. But for the past 3 years, we've allowed drug dealers that I watch daily come in and out of the north door of that house on South Park. It's one of the apartments. The other two tenants are fine, but they're 40 to 50 people coming in and out, living there. Now, I have to thank the police. I've complained several times and they have made a difference. They have been served an eviction notice, but they're still there. And I have a feeling they're not going anywhere. They don't look like they're going anywhere. They maybe now 3 to 4 people there, but they're still dealing. They're still passing their drugs out, doing whatever it is they do. We've had to put up with meth users, that's I think is the drug of their choice. Screaming down our street, banging on our doors. I have license numbers of cars that have been there. I'd be happy to give them some, please have some, but I have more. I don't want this in our town. It shouldn't be here. It's amazing the amount of drug activity that goes on in town. And although many of the people have moved somewhere else, they're still in town. So I don't want it in my neighborhood. I don't want it in our town. And I don't know what it is we can do, but I'm hoping something to stop it. It's got to stop. And it's 2 blocks from the school. It's a half block from the police station. And I know it's not the only house in this area.
It's 30 seconds.
Okay. The other one is 212 South Park. Is a jungle. Needs to be taken care of. And Mr. J's fence, I complained last year. It's several of the posts are bent and broken, and some of them are on our property. And I'd like to get them fixed. If somebody can talk to them and get that done. Thank you.
I'll give you that in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, Civic and Services Leadership. My name is Heather Paxton. I'm a fairly new resident to Streator, having been here less than a year. That said, I've experienced much of what seems to be happening here in town. In brief, I've enjoyed great events like Light Up Streator, Farmers Market, and several other things. I've dined in the majority of restaurants here, both conventional and convenience. I've worked with local utilities, permitting contractors, and also while repairing our home, even spent 4 months in 2 local hotels. I won't say which ones. But while I was there, I experienced drug deals, prostitution, and vagrant housing. It's with this experience that I present the following request for your consideration. Considering the city's allocation of $30,000 to RVs, please contemplate the following alternatives. Additional investment in crime prevention, cameras, lights, patrols, enforcement of city codes. Examples include properties with derelict cars. There are 7 within 2 blocks of my house. Also properties with overgrown vegetation. The removal of abandoned or bottom dollar real estate. Let's discourage the flip or flop investors, please. Develop zero tolerance crime programs for rentals. Reinforce registration of rental properties around the city. They make money, shouldn't you? Encourage downtown buildings and other building owners around town to clean up properties, dress windows of empty buildings, make them look like they're occupied. Let's talk about efficient street repair, mending and replacing instead of just dumping gravel. Invest in the restaurants that have already invested here in Streator. Many of them are struggling. Teeks is for sale, for example, and that's a 30-year business. I strongly urge you to consider these alternatives to another fast food restaurant. The ones we have, some do well and some don't. But we already have 7 to choose from. And our food scale here in Streator is, or our foodscape is diverse, but we're tipping towards fast food. Please don't add another. About a year ago, a local owner told me how happy he was that we were out and dining in Streator and not in Ottawa. So fast food doesn't draw like great parks, safe streets, or unique businesses do. Thank you for your consideration. Yours sincerely in citizenship and tax base. HAXTO.
My name is Karen Jo Kachmar, Kacmar. I live at 1112 Taylor Street. That is actually the corner of Taylor and Boyce. Last week and this week, we have had the city out repairing Boyce Street, primarily past Van Buren and up to Oak Hills. They are doing what they did 2 years ago, which is just using the machine to chip and tar. We didn't have any success 2 years ago. My neighbors and I, this spring, literally cleaned up all of that gravel that ends up in our yard and along the road after the winters with the city plows pushing everything into our yards. I actually had a friend come by with his little trailer to haul it all the way. So, like to just have feedback on the streets. The dust is unbelievable. Neighbors can't even open their windows because the dust is so bad. We're at the point that we're living on a country road. So it'd be something to consider, some type of calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, oil, anything that could be put down on the road to control the dust. This afternoon when I was finishing up my yard work, I overheard 2 neighbors across the street, and he basically said the same thing. You know, at least in the country, they put down oil on the roads to control the dust. I'd love to see the road redone. Bluff Street has been redone last year. Oak Hills was done this year. Probably 80% of the traffic to get to Bluff Street and Oak Hills is probably coming down Boyce Street, but our road continues to have a high amount of traffic. I'm concerned when the road does get redone, the speeding on the road is unbelievable. So that is something that needs to be considered, whether the signs that read, you know, the speed, you know, putting an officer sitting out there watching the traffic. I mean, me and my neighbors have stood on the street talking, and we witness cars pass each other because somebody's doing the speed limit and other people are in a hurry to get by. So even though it'd be great for the street to be improved, you know, the secondary consequence of that would be speed issues, and it is a neighborhood where obviously buses are going by and picking up children, you know, in the neighborhood. So I guess those are the primary concerns of just, you know, the street. I don't think it's on the 5-year plan for Boyce Street to be done. But again, okay. But again, you know, with the amount of traffic going down in Boyce Street to get to Bluff, to get to Oak Hills, with Kelly Street Bridge being, you know, closed, they have to come down. Now at this point, I would really encourage the board members and other city members to, you know, go down Boyce Street and literally see how the dust is and how that traffic is, because the residents in that area are paying the price for it right now. Thank you. Now you can second everything I said.
just general maintenance.
It is.
It is, I think it's 2025, I believe.
It's not on the.
I didn't see it on there.
I'll give you about 30 seconds warning, okay?
Okay, no worries, I won't be that long.
Okay.
Good evening, my name's Andy Manter, and I also live at 404 West Bluff Street. That's Manter. And I also wanted to comment this evening about the $30,000 for RVs, that's all right? That, to mention that I'm against it. If you go down that end of the street, you will look at Baskin Robbins. There's nobody there. Burger King, almost nobody anybody. Jimmy John's, there's nobody there. And when you do go in there, the kids don't know what they're doing, and they don't make your sandwich correctly anyway. Wendy's, there's never anybody there, and they're annoyed when you do show up. So I really don't feel like we need another fast food place, and we certainly don't need to spend any money on it. Based on my neighbors' comments there's better places that we can spend money on infrastructure. One would be, instead of dumping gravel on our streets, we appreciate it if you could pave. The Kelly Street Bridge came up. I really think we should get rid of it. There's infrastructure money. Biden is giving out tons of money, so let's get rid of it. We don't need it. It's just a way for a lot of people to cut through our neighborhood with unregistered vehicles, and it's a nuisance. So I'd really like to see that gone. And, you know, Streator is a great town. It has a lot of potential. I'd really like to see more emphasis and effort on infrastructure, because it will improve people's property values, and that will in turn bring more people into town and bring more businesses into town. But seriously, giving money for a fast food place, I don't think so. I believe we should give the money to Jackpots, More on Main, or some of these other businesses that have already proven to be successful. So that's just my opinion. So, thank you for your time.
Yes, no businesses named at side trains.
Cinda Bond. I'm up here to talk about parking on North Everett again. I live across from Everett Towers, and last Thursday we had a fire alarm smoke detector go off on the 7th floor. We had, and I don't know what it is because I see it all the time, but once a driver sees that fire truck, it's like a race to get by. That afternoon, I saw somebody in a pickup truck go by at 40 miles an hour, and there's two fire trucks out there. There's 2 ambulances, and only did the traffic stop when Reading pulled up to cross Everett Street at Broadway, and Reading, I think, or Grand Ridge might have been on Morrell Street. And of course, there's cars parked on my side of the road. And I've mentioned this before, and we're getting into snow season maybe, and street sweepers coming, and I think about the safety of the firemen, because they're over there like twice a day on average. So I don't know if we can change the parking situation, or I think the trucks would be too big to get around that driveway and go through the back of firemen. So any thoughts on that would be helpful. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Just a reminder, I'll give you about a 30-second. Okay?
Okay. Hi, my name is Sue Henson. I also live on Boy Street. It is a nightmare with all the dust, the gravel. We've picked up sometimes 10 garbage cans filled with rock. This winter will be a nightmare because it'll all be pushed in our yards. And it sometimes goes all the way up 5 to 6 feet into our yards. It's a mess. I please encourage you to repave our road the right way. As Karen Jones had said, that all neighboring little streets around us, Road, Love Street, Stan Street, every place is going to be paved, and we have a nightmare of gravel and tar. And it's all over our driveways, the kids are slipping and sliding with their bikes and falling. It's a nightmare. So I please encourage you to repave the road the right way. Thank you.
Thank you. We usually do our 5-year road plan in October.
Actually, I'm preparing it for next month, so.
So
When did they oil and chip that?
Just,
Yesterday, today.
yeah, last week, and then Friday was a rain day, and I don't know if Monday rained, so then they finished it today.
And boy, that section is in the 5-year plan. I'd have to look at exactly what year, but I think it's 2 years out. But it's going to be on your committee of the whole meeting next month.
Maybe take the streets and go down and get all that new stuff off and dirt, go edge of the road, curd, all that stuff.
The street sweeper is back
We-
in use, isn't it?
I
Yes.
believe we just got
Yes,
it back.
I knew the street sweeping was
Yeah.
broke, right?
That'll, everything that's already done should be set up. So it's just that loose gravel stuff, so we rip that, sweep that up, and that should eliminate all the problem. All the dust and the loose gravel.
Any other public comment? Before we go on to item 1. Okay, seeing none, we'll move to item 1. Motion to receive and place on file Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals recommendations to the City Council. One, Zoning Board of Appeal recommendation 2023-01, reaffirming the recommendation to approve and grant a variance from the provisions of Title 17.40.010, garages and accessory building setback requirements.
So
Second.
Okay, motion by Tim and second by Dave. Any discussion?
So this is the motion to allow the variance?
This is the motion to place on file the Plan Commission's recommendation.
Okay, so this doesn't,
We're
this
not
just
voting
place on
on
file
it.
their recommendation on this one.
Any other discussion or questions? Okay, clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Medai.
Aye. Item 2, motion to remove from the table ordinance 2023-10 regarding the issuance of a variance for 1304 East First Street. I give a motion and seconds. Okay, Matt with the motion and then Tim with the second. Any discussion?
This is
This is
allow the
to-
variance, but it doesn't change the ordinance.
No, this
No,
is just
just
a
remove-
procedural
take
matter
it off
to
the
remove
table.
it from the table. It was tabled
Bring
in
it
last
back to
month's
the
meeting.
council.
No table.
We missed, the word table is missing from your agenda. It's just a typo, but this is just removing it from the table. It's a procedural step only.
So are we voting on this again tonight yet to allow this, or is that at another meeting?
That's item 3. Item 3 is granting the variance.
That's for the alley. So there's nothing else on here about this then?
So my agenda has it.
I
It's
said
on- it's on
number 3
your
is no
number.
discussion or vacation.
No, that's a vacation of the alley on Indiana Avenue.
And
And
there
down the
should
Street
be,
Road.
Councilman Connor, there should be, you see that 2 kind of runs together.
Yeah.
And there should be a number 3, it says ordinance number 2310, approval and issuance of a variance. So the number 3 is just missing from the agenda,
So just make that 2A.
or 3, or, yeah, 2A, because we already have
Well, that's
3.
all confusing. I have that in.
Yeah, it was just a typo on the agenda, but it it is on there as a separate matter. So the matter currently before council is a purely procedural matter to remove from the table.
So I have a motion and second, so we can call roll to remove it from the table.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Reed, aye.
Aye. So item 3 or 2A, ordinance 2023-10 granting a variance from the provisions of chapter 1750-010, garages and accessory building setback requirements, and E4D garages and accessory setback requirements to allow for the replacement of an existing accessory structure on 1304 East First Street, Streator. I get a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Dave, Connor, and Matt with the second. Any discussion?
I think we're right back where we were
Oh,
a month ago. And my feelings on the subject are the same. I was all for just changing the ordinance so we wouldn't need a variance. But since that didn't work out with the plan commission, I am all for giving him the variance because I went out, I walked the property. I understand why we have the ordinances. If this was in the middle of town, in the middle of a residential neighborhood, I can see why we would not grant it, but given the location, I make a motion, we accept the variance and approve this.
Any other comments or discussion? All right. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Reed, aye.
Aye.
Okay, did someone second Dave's motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Matt.
That actually, Kagan.
Thank you.
We'll go to item 4 for new business. Ordinance 2023-12, authorizing the vacation of a public city right-of-way where a portion of an east-west alley located south of 605 Indiana Avenue and Otter Creek Road, Streator, Illinois, LaSalle, and Livingston Counties, Illinois. Get motion and second. Okay. Alright. Okay. Dave and Dave for the motion and second. Any discussion?
I drove by and looked at it, and it looks like there's been a concrete slab out in that alleyway for years. So, I mean, it hasn't been used in a long time, the alley. It's one of those, we're only vacating half the block without all the way to Otter Creek.
Yeah, so the petition came in, it was only signed by the residents along that half. I actually have since now heard from a neighbor when they got the letter on that piece, and you might see that coming up in
To vacate the rest
to
of it.
vacate the rest of it. So, yeah, initially they just came in, just vacate that one piece, but we sent out the letters and somebody else said, hey, I'd be in favor of vacating the other piece, so it might come back to you.
The other piece looks like there's a tree.
Yeah, so it's an unopened alley. I mean, it was platted but never utilized, so it's no public purpose of any kind we see.
Okay, any other comments or discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen.
Aye.
Reed, Mayor Reed, aye.
Aye. Item 5, ordinance 2023-14, authorizing the sale of 705 West Bridge Street to already purchased LLC for the city of Streator, LaSalle, and Livingston Counties, Illinois. We get a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Tim with the motion, Matt with the second. Any discussion? I believe this is similar to the agreement we did at the 300 block of South Park.
Harbor Street, yes, that's correct.
That's the three house up the hill, right inside. Before you get to,
This big yellow house, and then
Second
it's,
oh, it's on that side of the street.
It's on the south
Little
side.
white
It'll be on the
house.
south.
yeah, it's a
Okay,
little white
right,
house.
right.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Pete.
Aye. Item 6, ordinance amending the Streator Municipal Code to amend section 412020 concerning the number and class of liquor licenses, section 412030 concerning initial fees for liquor licenses, and section 412040 concerning annual liquor license fees. You get a motion and a second.
Second.
All right, Tim and Dave Reed with the second. Any discussion?
I would just point out to council, this is what you looked at committee meeting last week, but I did update the live performance so that they could have essentially special events at that type of event as well.
Any other questions or comments? All right, clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Pete.
Aye. Item 7, resolution 2023-37, authorizing a grant between the city of Streator and Open Space Land Acquisition and Development Oslet in conjunction with the proposed Murillo Park Pond Improvement Plan. Get a motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Dave and then Matt with the second. Any discussion? This was, again, what we reviewed last week at Carl, and it went to the parks board last week as well.
So, this will install gaming baskets on the sidewalk, so you'll be able to go right to the water's edge and fish, no weeds coming up on that south side of the pond, and also create easier access for during the ice skating if and when it ever freezes, but we did include security cameras in the proposal, so good, we hope. So the estimate is just over 215,000. We'll be applying for 90% grant. It's due at the end of the month, so I'm putting the application together. They could come back and only fund 50%, but at that point, when we're ready to accept the grant, we'll present it to you and hopefully, but during your budget process, we'll include the money to fund our portion and hope for the best. This will be the third application, so third time's the charm, I hope.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Pete.
Aye. Item 8, resolution 2023-38, approving a license agreement for fiber optic installation with MCC Network Services LLC by the city of Streator, LaSalle, and Livingston Counties, Illinois. You get a motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Dave Connor and Matt with the second. Any discussion? This is a fiber optic to home. So currently, in Streator, you can get it as a business owner or a government entity, a school, city hall, but we do not have the option for residential yet, so this will start that process.
We just went around today and hung up things on the doors, and let people know about this.
Any other comments or discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary, McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Pete.
Aye. Item 9, ordinance 2023-14, approving and authorizing the execution of a tax increment financing district redevelopment agreement by and between the city of Streator and Streator Equity Group LLC, Streator TIF District 2. You get a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Tim, and then Moose. I know, I've got to figure out how to say Dave. All right, any discussion?
I would like to say that I don't think we should do this. I think, as people said, there's much better we can do with $30,000. I don't see any reason why they can't go ahead with it without our money. And I think we should have to try to recoup $30,000. And I don't feel like paying for a fast food restaurant would be beneficial towards the community. I think it's a bad precedent for anyone coming forward that wants to start a business. I mean, why wouldn't we give anyone $30,000 to give Argus their well, the builder build Argus $30,000?
to address that. Because I've been stopped in Kroger, I've been stopped in Walmart, I've been stopped in a coffee shop, people on both sides of this issue. And we need to take the name Arby's out of it, because we're not giving Arby's anything, we're not paying to have Arby's. What we're doing is giving TIF money to develop the corner. Arby's just seems to be the restaurant interested in renting that space. It could be Chipotle, could be Culver's, could be Barnes and Noble, whatever. What we are doing is investing in developing that corner. And yes, the money will come back in increased value, but we're not giving Arby's anything. We're not paying Arby's to come here. There's a lot we could do with $30,000, like Heather said. There's, we could fight crime, we could do weeds, but TIF money can only be spent on economic development within an area. We can't use this money for drug policing. We can't use it for cleaning up weeds going down Bridge Street. It has to be used for economic development within the TIF district. It's what it's for. And that's what we're using it for. That corner is highly visible. It is the front door to our community. And I think it's money well spent. And it's money that we don't have to try to get back. It's just going to come back. So I am very much in favor of this.
Honestly, any of those restaurants you need, I wouldn't want to. You give 30,000 for them to come
Yeah, but I wouldn't pay to have any business come here, but I would pay to help develop it so they have the opportunity to open a business if they want to. And that's what we're doing. That's at least my take on it.
I think it's known that it's going to be an Arby's. COVID murdered the food industry, and I think it would be a slap in the face to anyone who owns a restaurant in town just to pay for
A lot of restaurants in town have taken advantage of this program already. It's not like this is the only way we're using it.
But I don't see any reason now to pile on top of it with a fast food restaurant.
So why would it be fair to give it to them and not to somebody else that comes along?
I think we should just.
We've already given it to many others. Why would you want to say no to this one? That's what I don't understand.
No, I don't think they need money. I think they can do it without our money. I see no reason why they couldn't. They have a way bigger developments than this going on, so.
I could go back all the way back to the first TIF, with the Bill Walsh TIF, that was just that property he built on, and all the money, all the sales tax money, or the property tax money from that old International Harvester building, and the bar, all that went back to replace his money over 23 years. Bill Walsh certainly could have built his own at that time too.
Sure could have.
The purpose of it.
Can't go back 22 years though.
No, but the purpose of the TIF district is to fix dilapidated buildings and to make them, get them back on the tax rolls, get them going. I felt the same way you did at first, and after the meeting last month, a month before we talked about it, I changed my mind. I'm in favor of it now just because it's not coming out of the city money, it's coming out of the TIF money, which will be regenerated. And it also breaks up a corner spot that hasn't done anything for 15, 20 years. Kind of an eyesore. And if we don't do something with this, they may just never develop it, you're not paying much in taxes, and then next thing you know, you've got a building falling in, and they could walk away from it. With so many homeowners do.
That's a risk I'm willing to take. They bought it with the intentions of building. I think they need to hold up there in the garden and they want to buy. I think if they wanted money, they should have come to us before they bought it. To my knowledge, they didn't. I don't know if they did or didn't.
Well, the same group,
Well, they built the Wendy's
they
on
built
that strip mall.
just south, yes.
With their own money.
Right, they didn't have an agreement on that one. But across the street, where Dunkin' Donuts is, that group had a different development agreement. No, it's the same developer that took the Wendy's.
When they sold that too, they had.
Yeah, Jimmy John's, all that.
Yeah, they run out, they own that and still run it. The Wendy's they built and then sold to franchise. I don't know, I know this is what TIF money is for, but I think if we're gonna use TIF money, bring something unique to the community, do something that's beneficial. I don't think another fast food is what we need. I think, We have enough fast food. I don't see any reason.
Our job is to help create economic development. It's up to the developer who he rents to.
What if he sells it?
He gets out, but at least it'd be a nice clean corner. I mean, even if whatever goes in there goes out of business in 5 years, we won't have a blighted corner. We will have
A nice empty building.
we will have a nice empty building, easier to market than what we have there now.
I mean, I think it's probably one of the dumbest things we're gonna do.
I'll give a background on it, before we vote. So originally the plan was to reuse this building and do 2 facade grants. We have this year $105,000 in facade grants budgeted. 60 of that was from last year, that we're waiting for the projects to be completed. But as far as like facade grants, we've, I think, spent over $500,000 over the 10-year life of those improvements. Various businesses downtown, and then we do 1 or 2 in the budget outside of the downtown TIF every year. So the original plan was $15,000 for the Oakley Avenue side and the Route 23 side, which we've done. Guy Towers received the same deal, the building where Smitty's Tap is on the corner of Sterling Street and Main Street. Also received that, but they did not complete the grant. So there was history as far as if it's on a corner lot, being able to use facade grants on 2 sides. When they got into it, decided to not reuse the building, they're gonna tear down and build new. So it turned into a TIF redevelopment agreement. We have those with anybody from Zavada for 409 East Main Street to, again, Gaetano's Vault has one. Carbo's old building has one from years ago. Bill's at Hollybrook. I could probably keep going down the list, but just from our quick review of the budget, we've used TIF before to try to spur investment. For me, my concerns with the project has been the environmental concerns of what they're going to find when they get, with there being a private gas station there, and what they're going to run into. So I would much rather let someone else clean that up and do the $30,000 and have it be their problem down the road. So that's my comments on it. But again, anyone else? Anything else? All right, clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen,
Nay.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Beebeck.
Aye. Item 10, consent agenda. A motion and second to approve the consent agenda with a fund warrant total of $796,215.34.
Second.
Okay, Tim, and then Matt. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Beebeck.
Aye. Item 11, city official comments. Bruce, do you have anything?
I'm good.
I have one thing. On Saturday, August 19th, Saturday coming up, the Hardscrabble Lions Club is holding a big baseball game. There's a blind softball team out of Chicago that tours the state. They will be coming and playing Streator All-Stars. You've never seen one, it's very interesting. Some of the people in this room were there last year. The baseball has a beep in it, a sound, and you are blindfolded, and you have to try to play baseball just by the sound against a team that does it every weekend. So Streator All-Stars will get slaughtered, I'm sure. But it's going to be at North Lawn, 2 p.m. Saturday, the field right north of the North Lawn School. And if anybody wants to come out and see what it's about, Lions would really love to have a good crowd there. And we're also looking for anybody that would be willing to play. And I was asked if anybody from the city would like to represent the city of Streator. So you guys can talk amongst yourselves. I'm here to do that.
I can't play it now,
But I just wanted to give them a plug for their beat baseball.
Don't they have to hit the ball, then aren't there like 2 bases, you run either one and you're
Yes.
beeping 2, if you touch that before they find the ball and pick it up, you're safe. Not
Yeah.
around. I saw it in Chicago years ago, it was fascinating.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. That's all I have.
I don't have anything for tonight. Can I get a motion and second to adjourn?
So, second.
Okay, Reed, and Timothy second. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary, McMullen.
Aye.
Reed. Mayor Pete.
Aye. 7:40. Meeting is